Accomplishment Coaching is proud to present the following fine programming. Accomplishment Coaching, where coaches lead and leaders coach. AccomplishmentCoaching.com.
Welcome to the Coaching Show with your host, Master Certified Coach Christopher McAuliffe.
Thank you, Dick Warren, and welcome, my dear listener, to another exciting edition of the show. Today, human beings in the studio with us. We're very excited. That makes for a better video feed for those of you watching us. Hello. And we're going to talk about money. And I don't know about you, but that drives me crazy. So if I go over the edge, you were here to witness it. So well played. I apologize for that. That's the glorious result of too much coffee. Let's talk about our guest, not in studio co-host today. I know, it's driving you crazy. Where is she? Well, we'll find out. The great and powerful Laura Fink is a coach, a trainer, a therapist. She joins us from the wilds of New Jersey, where she has a palatial mansion, I'm sure. Laura, say hello to the people.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me, Christopher.
And thanks for
happy to be.
Thanks for being had. Is that a small child in the background, or are you living in a haunted mansion?
The haunted mansion.
Clear. All right. The
Squeaky door.
Laura, if people fall in love with you via the voice here, how do they find out more about you? Where do they go? What do they do?
Instagram is the best way currently. I'm really building up my Instagram feed, and you can see what I'm up to, kind of get a glimpse of coaching and my life. So you can follow me on Laura Cabral Fink.
Laura, Cabralfink, right?
Yes.
And Laura
Yes.
is Laura, or Laura.
Yes.
Okay, great. We're delighted to have you. I want to give, as we do every show, a couple of shout-outs. The first is to the International Coach Federation. We are delighted, proud, and honored to be in our fourth year of media partnership as an official media partner of the International Coach Federation. The International Coach Federation is an extraordinary organization, a standalone, not-for-profit, that is the organization, the dominant organization for coaching credentialing, coaching research, coaching accreditation, and even coaching ethics and adjudicating any ethical issues that may come up. They're the leading global organization dedicated to advancing the coaching profession. And they do that by setting high standards, providing independent certification, and by building a worldwide network of trained coaching professionals. As you know, most of us as coaches started out in our second bedroom or converted part of our home. And one of the best things you can do for your professional growth, for your growth as a human being and growth as a coach, is to connect with other coaches. And you can do that best through the ICF. The International Coach Federation is available on the World Wide Web at coachfederation.org. It's the world's largest organization of professionally trained coaches. If you're looking for a training program, that's a good place. But also if you're looking for any sort of research to justify ROI, to prove the benefits of coaching, it's the world's largest storehouse of coaching research as well. The ICF elicits instant credibility for its members. That's why I'm a member. And it is committed to connecting us, professional coaches, with the tools and resources we need to succeed in our careers. To learn more about the ICF, to stay up to date on the latest news, including finding out about ICF Converge, which is a conference they're holding this year in August in Washington, D.C. Now, don't think too hard about that, August in Washington, D.C., but think about the opportunity it is to be with thousands of coaches from around the world, and then you'll go to Washington, D.C., and then you'll, experience it in August. Check it all out at coachfederation.org, or check out ICF on Twitter at that's right, I said at ICFHQ. That's at ICFHQ. And as you know, there's an ICF representative on our show each and every month, and you can listen to interviews with the executive director, the people in charge of research, or the people in charge of membership, and find out more. Again, ICF is at coachfederation.org. Our second long-term sponsor of this show is Accomplishment Coaching. If you are like me, you want the world's finest coach training. If you're going to get trained as a coach, do it one time and do it with the world's best trainers. Those are at Accomplishment Coaching. You can find out more by going to accomplishmentcoaching.com. One of my favorite things about Accomplishment Coaching is that you can go and observe their coach training in process before you sign on, before you even make a decision about where you want to be trained as a coach. At Accomplishment Coaching, you can go and observe their training program in one of the following cities: Victoria, BC in Canada, Seattle, Washington, San Diego, California, Chicago, Illinois, Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, which could use a little coaching these days, and New York City, the hub of all things wonderful. So check it out on the web, accomplishmentcoaching.com. Find out what it is to be the world's finest coach training program. All right, that's it for our shout-outs. We are delighted to be joined in studio today by an extraordinary man, and we're going to talk about one of the toughest of all topics. No, not that one. We're going to talk about money. Harvey Neiman is President and Chief Investment Officer of Neiman Funds Management, LLC. He's a market observer, and he's been all over the media. He's been on CNBC, Fox Business, the Wall Street Journal, you know, all the legit publications and media outlets. And we're delighted to have him in our studio today. So I'm sorry you were not here, Laura Fink, because you would love to be with this guy. Yeah, speak right up. We can't hear you otherwise.
Okay.
There you go. He's also the author of this here book, if you're looking at the video, Customize Wall Street. It's a plain English, practical treatment of the world of investments designed to help us take control of our financial future. Harvey, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. I have appeared on spoken on the radio before to the East Coast, originating either in the Midwest or on the East Coast, and I always give them a report about the conditions in Southern California, how beautiful and sunny it is at my personal home office in Rancho Santa Fe, California. It is a bleary day today.
It's very reminiscent of 221 Baker Street in London, in dreary London today. That's right.
So it's a pleasure to be in your studio because we're nice and warm and toasty, and we just had some Starbucks coffee, and everybody's having a good time. And if you want me to talk about money, please don't ask me to give you a lot of money, but I will talk about money and teach our listeners and our co-host a little bit about what I've learned in my profession.
Follow-up question, what would be a lot of money to ask for? No, I'm kidding. Let's
$5 really gets
How
us
much
started.
would be too much?
That's right.
Yes, $6 would be over the limit.
Gotcha, clear. All right. Let's talk about the fundamentals, because that's really what this book is about, is getting us back to basics. There's a lot of different theories right now. In fact, I sat recently next to a vice president in charge of something important at one of the large banks. Okay, I can say it, Capital One, on a plane recently. And this woman spent the 5 hours of the trip telling me how she and her husband, a respected judge, had divested everything from the market in the last 2 years, even though it was quite costly to them, because they knew that a crash was coming. Is a crash coming?
Well, that's amazing because that would be one of the 5 million crystal balls that have been wrong more than they've been right. I'm adamant about sharing with other folks that you cannot predict the future in the stock market. We clearly have trouble predicting the future in the weather, and we've got scientific satellites and all that doing that, and still today was supposed to be sunny in Southern California. You know, okay, hello everybody. But back to the point, I think it's wrong or misguided to try to predict the market, and even though that's not the topic we really kind of prepared our notes on, it's an important one, and let's stay with it. The idea of Customize Wall Street and the thoughts I wish to share to those who will listen to, what I've learned over the years, is that that you go with kind of the trend, the flow, develop a plan. We'll come to that later in our discussion. Stick to your guns. Let's just go back to the simple story of the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise didn't know the weather, the terrain, any more than the rabbit running around. The rabbit tried to tried to outguess things and took a sleep, ran around, and when the whole thing was done, they actually ended up at the same place, pretty close to the same time. But my story is about the tortoise, one step at a time, planned ahead, knows his speed, knows what to expect, and there were no surprises. And I promise you, the tortoise got to the end of the line. He won by a very short margin if you follow the legend. But he had no stress and worry. He was able to go about his life, whereas the rabbit running around didn't know if he was going to be chopped off by a coyote somewhere along the way. So bailing out of the market, going back, I'm dead against that, because if you plan the right participation in the market, you're covering all the weather storms. You're covering the good weather and the bad weather, using that metaphor.
Beautiful. The the main message in Customize Wall Street is what? If you could wave your magic wand and give all of our listeners, everybody, sort of one major direction, what would you have us do to sort of start our tortoise-like progress?
I'm going to honor your request, because in truth, in fact, I feel there are several themes and messages, but you asked what would I pick out as the one major point is, if you have a goal related to using the tools of the stock market or other financial securities, other financial vehicles that are offered on Wall Street, if you have that goal and you want to be able to do it without stress and worry, here's the message. Please understand what you can control and what you cannot control in the world of finance. You cannot control the ups and downs of the stock market, but you can control the plan, the goal, how much you contribute, how much you withdraw, how many years you want to spend achieving your retirement goal, or you're sending your children to college goal, or marrying off the kids, or buying the second home. Know what you can control, and then you can at least sleep at night if you're doing the right things that you have the power over. And it is not the ups and downs of the stock market. We can't control that. We just learn how to deal with it, but we can't control it. That's my, not my only message, but if you asked for, Christopher,
The number one, yeah.
that sums up a theme that should run through all the pages of my book.
I appreciate that. Laura Fink is at a different place in her life. She's a younger, vibrant.
Oh,
She's
yes,
not
I
old,
do want to meet this
old
young
and decrepit
lady.
like me. But she's Laura. I think you've got 2 children now, handsome husband, and some sort of beginning your in many ways your sort of financial adventure. What questions do you have for Harvey? What's sort of top of mind for you?
Yeah, well, when I saw that Harvey was going to be on, I got really excited and nervous, because
That's exactly what everybody says about me.
I'm in my early 30s, and I'm a woman, and I don't want to be stereotypical, but most people in my age bracket and gender get very intimidated by this topic, and we let someone else handle it, or it seems too confusing, so we'll just wait. Or quite honestly, my husband handles all of it for this very reason, and I don't think that that's useful to me or to him.
Mm-hmm.
So from my perspective, I would just love the basics. Where to start, how to start, what's the next thing that I need to do. And even though we have our stuff set up, we have retirement, we have college savings, this is making me realize that I need to be involved. I need to know what's going on.
Well, the first thing that resonates with me as you tell your story is if you have these things set up, advice number one is don't all of a sudden just drop everything and you made it wasn't you, I guess it was a person sitting there on an airplane with Christopher.
Right.
Do not change your plan. There's no such thing as the perfect plan. There's certainly no such thing as the Harvey plan, because my message to you is, what are your financial goals? You can have one financial goal, or you can have dozens of financial goals. Most people, if you think about quality of life, 3 or 4 or 5, everything from buying a new vehicle to sending kids to college, to a retirement home, to a second vacation home. Retirement, of course, is the big one, but also even your charitable program, whatever you want to do in life. start by setting goals, and let me present that if I have make another comment on this. People talk about, or you attend a cocktail party, or you attend an event, a conference, whatever, and people chit-chat, and, when all the lectures are over, you're having a little happy hour, and we're talking, and somebody will, more than one person will say, "Oh, did you buy Facebook when it just before it started its
Right.
run?" And I'm being figurative. I personally did not buy Facebook before it started its run, so please understand. And you stop and think, "Oh, I didn't do that. Oh, you made millions, did you?" And of course, they didn't really make millions. They're just bragging about the one good move they made, and don't tell you about the 10 mistakes. That they keep that to themselves. But my point is, don't get sucked in. Part of the expression. Don't get trapped by the distractions. Oh, why wasn't I in that investment? No, no, no. If you are going to invest in one stock or 100 stocks or mutual funds or bonds or annuities or real estate, whatever it is, please have a goal. Why do you have the job that you have? Why do you have the profession you have? Why are you raising the children that you have? Well, you have a goal.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone into a profession. Well, think of getting into your investments as a bit of a profession. It is a bit of a hobby, but it's probably over a lifetime going to bring you as much income and financial satisfaction as your job is going to bring you. So have a goal. And if Facebook stock or any other famous stock fits that goal, then of course, buy it when you have enough resources to buy the 100 shares, the 50 shares, the whole shares, or the mutual fund that contains Facebook in it. If it fits your plan, then of course buy it. But we're going to talk about distractions a little bit in a few minutes, Christopher. But to give you that taste, if you don't start with a goal for the reason you're using, whether it be the stock market, the mutual funds, or other financial avenues that you're comfortable, you and your spouse are comfortable with, or our listeners' families, if you like I said, real estate, if you like collecting stamps, whatever it is you do, have a goal for the reason you do that activity, not because you heard it was a great deal at a cocktail party.
We should point out that, forgive me, Laura, but we should point out that Harvey has written a book, Customize Wall Street, which is available wherever fine books are sold. And as one of our more generous guests today, he has brought along an extra copy or two. So, Harvey, pick your favorite numbers between 1 and 10. Pick two.
Pick two numbers between 1 and 10.
Yeah.
Well, I can't. It's hard to avoid 7.
Okay, and?
And 11 is too big. I can't pick that one.
You can choose 11 if you like.
No. Okay, 7, 11.
Great.
Yeah.
So if you, my dear listener, are our 7th or 11th person to write an email to producer@thecoachingshow.com, that's producer@thecoachingshow.com, you will get one of these wonderful copies of Harvey's book, Customize Wall Street, and he is gesturing wildly to me that he'll even sign it, so it'll be worth millions.
What you learn in there might be worth millions. The book itself won't be worth millions. Can I, my publicist, Richard, is here with me. May I bring in a third copy that we can send to Laura?
Oh,
also?
that would be lovely.
Yes.
Thanks.
Can we do that?
Because she was writing an
Richard,
email right
can we
then.
arrange?
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Richard,
Harvey,
just
that's so generous.
Oh no, we'll get Laura's contact information.
just one of the many people that Harvey brought with him as a posse today,
entourage.
off camera. Laura, did you have a follow-up? I feel like I cut you off.
Yes. Okay, so I heard a few things in that. Number one is the goal, which is really cool because some background also is that I grew up in Paraguay, well, my younger years, a third world country. Retirement is not a thing. Saving for the future is not a thing. You're just surviving for the day. So even this concept is different. And my husband grew up differently, obviously, and it's all about saving for tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So I like the idea of creating a goal together of our lifestyle for now and for later.
Well, I'm glad you like that, and you mentioned saving because I integrate one of the themes. Remember, I told Christopher at the top of the show that the book is full of a variety of themes, not just one. But if we go back to the cocktail party, how that distracts you so much, there is no part of my approach that leaves out saving. You cannot be a successful investor unless you understand that it's saving and investing. It's contributing to the plan. We talked about the goal. The next step in the process is, what is the plan? Now, there are many very fine financial advisors, and by the way, my existence as part of Wall Street, a West Coast version of Wall Street, is that the financial advisors are integral in individuals who are not familiar, and even those who are familiar. Whether you call them a stockbroker, a financial planner, a registered investment advisor, I strongly encourage working with your financial advisor. And if you find, like those who teach your children or take care of things in your home, that if you have the wrong professional, then you have an obligation to you and your family to go find the right professional that will adhere to these principles, whether they know them exactly. They haven't seen my book yet, but you hear about, yes, we'll help you with a plan. We will help you with saving and investing. And once you're on that track, or you integrate it yourself, if you and your husband are satisfied. People can do this on their own or with a professional, but when you're new at this, I certainly support all aspects of Wall Street as a concept, what it offers. And the fine professionals are integral to this business, and I endorse them.
Great. One of the, pardon me, I'm so sorry about the
Little frog in the throat. Little
sound
frog in
effects
the throat.
today, right?
Yes.
Unintentional. So there are a bunch of themes I want to pick up on already, and I'm clear that our time is flying by. The first is saving and investing.
Absolutely.
So let's just hit that again.
Sure.
So what's the distinction there, and what do we need to know and begin doing if we're not already?
Well, you send me in a direction that is very enjoyable to discuss, and it is really even the topic of my sequel book that Richard and his firm are helping me bring out a sequel that we will call Customizing the 10 Powerful Tools of Investing. And the number 10 comes from one of those favorite numbers that I didn't choose for the guests.
Yes.
So there could be hundreds of powerful tools. There could be just a few powerful tools, and I chose to write about 10 of them. And the question you're asking about saving and investing is right there near the top. And there's an expression on Wall Street called dollar cost averaging.
Yes.
And dollar cost averaging is best exemplified by anybody who's an employee of a good company and has a 401k plan and contributes. A 401k plan, if you participate, is a perfect example of saving and investing and dollar cost averaging. That means now, during the course of your plan, implementing the plan, you need to make contributions to that plan on a pretty regular basis that you can control. You, the listener, you, the investor, you, the saver, can control. You can't control the market, but you can control that $50 each paycheck that goes into your 401k plan. Now you are saving because you are contributing to the growth. I'm going to make an assumption, ladies and gentlemen, that when you put money into the market, into mutual funds, into a 401k plan, that in the long term it grows. This is the United States of America. We're a capitalist country. All of our big businesses, some that we don't like as much as others, but all of them that are successful, they grow with inflation, with capital investment, and financing. So invest in those businesses through your 401k, whether it's your own company, whether it's Facebook itself. I keep picking on Facebook. I don't even know that. I don't even know the people. At
Not
Facebook.
a stock tip, people. Not a stock tip.
No.
Don't sue us. Don't send us letters.
Right, but are we getting to a commercial break? I don't mind cutting off.
We've got about 3 minutes left in our segment and our time
Sure.
together today.
So.
That went by so quick.
Whatever you do, make sure if you want to be successful in your plan that you make continual contributions, and it's never too late to contribute. That's the saving feature, and then you need to pick responsible investments, and that's the investing feature.
All right. I've been now informed by our crack or crack-addicted staff that that my 3 minutes has become 1. So I want to turn it over to you, Harvey Neiman. The website is Customize Wall Street. The book is Customize Wall Street. If you had 35 seconds to tell people a sort of parting thought or parting shot, what would you have us take with us today?
Well, I'm not allowed to do. It's not cool to do a commercial and say buy my book.
I think we get the message.
And Amazon.com, whether you do the Kindle version or a physical copy of the book, it's available, and there's some reviews there that you can read. And that's the most common place to acquire the book. But the parting message is know what you can and cannot control. Because I can do this in 30 seconds. There's the short term, there's the long term. Stress is in the short term, your financial goals are the long term.
Beautiful. Harvey Neiman, thank you so much for being with us. Again, Customize Wall Street is the book, also the website, customizewallstreet.com. Go get it and make your goals. Find out about the 10 powerful tools and the 5 core questions. We'll be back with more of The Coaching Show right after this. Stay with us.
Hi, Mary. Our growth has me looking for new furniture, but I can't find the right vendor. Can you help?
For sure.
Do you know a company that will give me a great value?
For sure.
Do you know a company that provides great selection?
For sure.
Do you know a company that is professional and responsive?
For sure. It's Shore. Shore Office Warehouse has been providing great value